What's up, Tango Crypto? How's everybody doing tonight? It's Tango Delta 6. It's time for another Happy Taco Tuesday, Happy Tango Tuesday. I'm checking in with you guys down here from sunny Tampa, Florida, where it's still warm, but we're supposed to be getting a little bit of a cold front this weekend, which should be fantastic. We're starting to feel that fall weather. And if you're a football fan like me, you may have been following the Buccaneers recently, but we're on a pretty good little run here, even though we got a pretty injured and banged up team, but it's been going all right. So that's a good thing. And tonight I'm excited. This is something that we have not done in quite some time, is to bring somebody on as a special guest and kind of help promote a project and something that we've all known and loved for quite some time and followed along with, and have been patiently waiting to see some cool stuff coming out of the Diamond Swap project. And for most of you that have been around Tango Crypto for a few years, you remember Hank from his not so illustrious beginnings in the crypto space with I won't mention any previous projects, but we all came to know and love him through his work as the CTO for Nobility Token, and where he was actually somebody who was very instrumental in the building and the growth of that platform, who we almost everybody to a number in Tango Crypto was also a member of that Nobility community, and very happy as well to be there. So I was talking with him recently because I've noticed that there's been a lot of cool new information coming out about Diamond Swap, and they're coming up on basically a long-awaited launch of the product that's going to go to the public, and there's just so much to discuss and so much to talk about. So I talked with Hank, and he has agreed to come on tonight, and we're recording this show for anybody who might miss it, just because we don't typically do a lot of promotions. So I'm recording this for us to send it to YouTube later for people to come back and watch. But tonight, our very special guest, if you would welcome Hank. What's up, buddy? I'm inviting you to speak if you want to come up here on the stage, and let's get our sound check real quick. How are you, buddy?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you. I can hear you. Let me see. I'm going to take mine. There we go. I'm going to take mine down a little bit and put us side by side there. Let me see if I can. Are you guys able? Raise your hand if you can hear Hank okay in the audience. Okay, good stuff. That's good. That's good. Sometimes we have technical difficulties with Discord, Hank, as I know you probably are used to after doing so many of these. So
I am well aware.
it just never. It's so funny. Like, I don't make any changes on my laptop, and the microphone and the camera are exactly the same. Nothing ever changes. But it seems like every week when I go to start this show, I literally have to go into the window and hit debug the sound and reset the sound settings. And then I have to I figured it out. I have to unplug and replug the USB-C to my Logitech StreamCam, and that's the only way I can get it to work. So, hey, you're the one that knows about how we break things and figure things out like that, right? So how have you been, man? First of all, I mean, it's been a while since you've had a chance to join us here in Tango Crypto. So tell me what's been going on in your life over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I've just been working nonstop, pretty much. Gone to dozens of different conferences. Like in real life events, all for DSX. They built a charting and analytics platform called DYOR, so DYOR.com, and that's out and doing something. That kind of led the way to what DSX became. If you're not aware, Diamond Swap actually was renamed to DSX. Easier to get people on when it's 5 characters you have to type in to get to the website versus 15, like 12. So we kind of went with a rebrand anyways, just to kind of get more toward the trading environment. But aside from that, I've got my video game stores are open in Pennsylvania. I have one of the largest video game collections in Pennsylvania.
Hey.
So I'm a mega geek through and through. Yeah, I mean, I've just been mainly focused on just working nonstop. I'm actually programming again as well, so I'm deep in the woods, writing code with all of the guys. It's not just like barking orders at them. Um, yeah, I mean, we're cranking out as fast as possible. Pretty much since, obviously we have like the dex pools written, the aggregator, all that was done last year. But since January, we wrote what is now DSX completely from scratch,
Ground up.
utilizing all of the infrastructure that we built in 2024 as like a lead up to this, right? So we've designed the entire database to be fully omni-chain. We have all of the features completely in-house. We've written the entire front end, the entire Telegram bot, all of the back end, the wallet man, literally everything about the platform is written completely in-house from scratch. We know every line of it, and that's what kind of helps set us apart from all of our competitors, because every single direct competitor that we have is utilizing 10 different third-party aspects, right? We have maybe two. We'll aggregate different sources to verify our data, but everything is in it. Like if Jupiter and some of the bigger like Helios were to disappear tomorrow, most of my competitors would disappear. If Turnkey decided to disappear tomorrow, all of my competitors would disappear, because none of them handle the wallet mechanics. They all utilize one third party. So this one centralized third party owns $400 million worth of Solana for these trading platforms, whereas we built our security layers all of ourselves. It's the exact same setup as this third party, except I don't have to trust some random foreign company not to run away with everyone's money.
Yeah, and the chain's only as good as the weakest link, right?
Right, and we also wanted to build it because we're going to be having every network, right? Solana is live now. The trading platform as well as the Telegram bot are both live. They've been through iterations of beta already. They're all live, good to go in Solana, getting constant updates, and we're working on rolling out BNB now in the next 2.5, 3
Nice,
weeks.
that's familiar territory, right?
Yeah. That'll be our first EVM chain. Once everything is stable on BNB, we'll be enabling 10 networks. So we'll have every popular network.
And do you have I know at one point you were working on a bridge to kind of move everything across networks. Have you completed that, or is that part of this rollout?
We have that done.
Oh, good.
Yep, that's done. It's not live yet because obviously EVM's not turned on.
Sure.
But once we do, we'll enable that bridge as well. It's utilizing
awesome
both our own backend, and we have a exclusive partnership with Houdini Swap, if you know those guys, if you ever talk to them. But we have a partnership with Houdini Swap and a partnership with the bridge, so that if there are better rates and we don't see it, we can still provide the best route. Right? We're not really picky. It's we want to get the best source, so we source data from multiple different points.
Sure. And so I know let's say somebody's watching this, and maybe it's not even one of our live group is pretty well turned on to what's happening in the space, even though it's still we've dwindled down to a very small group. But I think a lot of people who have access to our server will come back and watch the recordings, especially if they're overseas and in other places. They don't get a chance to catch us at 8 o'clock live every Tuesday. So catch us up just a little bit. If I'm wrong, I'll say what I think it is, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. So I know originally back in the day when everything was in the heyday and there were hundreds of people every week getting on all these different groups just like Tango Crypto and listening to different launches. We had like Pink Sale or something like that, and Poo Coin. We had to go and watch the chart, and then you'd have to go to like Coin Market Cap and check out market valuation. And it just seemed like you really there was already kind of difficult to figure out crypto, especially if you were not very well versed. I remember when I first started looking at it, it just seemed like a total uphill climb for me. And I'm fairly technical, so I took it up pretty quickly, and that's when I started to try to help educate others how to use it. Once I figured it out, I just wanted to make sure, other people had access to it. And that's kind of really how Tango Crypto got born. But most of it was because it just seemed like you had to go to all these different places. Like you had to go to one site to get a chart. The chart would only be the chart. You couldn't make a buy from the chart. Then eventually that evolved. So I know a lot of those pieces, you've kind of assembled all that together into one finished shiny project. Is that kind of what the cause and the mission was?
So not only that, but the other aspect that was pretty difficult for people to understand, at least to start, was getting a wallet set up and funding the wallet, and then having to figure out how to connect that wallet to PancakeSwap or whatever they were using, and then having to sign transactions and hit confirm and set up your gas settings and all of
so many steps
along with it as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Slippage.
What DSX evolved into. Exactly. And we still let you modify that if you're an advanced user. You can, but what we were last year, right? We were a PancakeSwap competitor or a Uniswap competitor, right? We had DEX LPs where you could your project could park liquidity and stuff like that, but we didn't have charts built in, or if they, by the time we did, they were like slimmed down versions, and it wasn't really like conducive. You didn't have all the features that you would have on like DEX Screener or DEX Tools or CoinMarketCap, etc. What we did is we are essentially DEX Screener plus Uniswap / PancakeSwap plus our own wallet, so you don't have to create a MetaMask or a Phantom wallet or anything else like that. We are our own wallet on all the networks that we support, and we have that combined, as well as we're adding perps into the platform. So if you're like a Hyperliquid user, or if you do any like futures or perpetual trading, they're going to be built into the platform as well. The difference is, because the wallet is built in, once you sign in, you can sign in with your Google, and it'll create you a wallet there too. You don't even have to figure out the steps of creating your wallet, right? You can sign in with Telegram.
Too easy.
And you can sign in with another wallet if you have it, right? So if you have a Solana wallet, and then once we enable EVM, if you have a MetaMask wallet, you can use that as your entry point. You could also just sign in with, Twitter. That's on our roadmap too. You could just sign in, write it with your Twitter, and then boom, create your wallet. So it'll be easy to onboard. We have a banking partner that we are working with to get set up so that we actually have a on-ramp solution where you could just do an ACH like wire to fund your wallet as well. So you won't even have to go to a centralized exchange. It is literally finance, but on chain. That's what our goal is, right? So yeah, I mean, like we are a all-in-one true solution. What we are also adding in is right now the DEX pools is disabled. We wanted to go purely the trading terminal, the Telegram bot route, get really where the revenue source would be and focus on that with the relaunch. But once we enable our DEX pools, we are also a token launch pad too. So we've built in our own type of pump fund or for meme or anything like that. It's not quite like Pink Sale because they had like soft and hard caps and auctions and stuff like that. It's more of like a fair launch. You go right into a bonding curve type, entrance, but it's comparable to Pump Fund. And most people would know what Pump Fund is if they've
Pump Fund
created low caps, right? But yeah, I mean, we've got literally everything built into the platform. It's ready to go. We've got our portfolio page is actually releasing tomorrow. So not only can you see your entire portfolio for all of your wallets across all networks, you can also go look up other people's wallets as well. You can track their P&L with that wallet tracker upgrade and the portfolio upgrade that we're going to be doing. You can also set up copy trading. So if you're not a good trader, but you find my wallet, you can make money.
Just do what he's doing on a smaller scale and see how that works out.
Yeah. But that's like one of the things that a lot of our competitors don't have.
Sure.
Wallet tracking, some of the direct competitors that we have, especially on Solana, like Axiom, Phantom, they have wallet tracking, but everything that we are adding into the platform it's copacetic to the feature set that our competitors have, but we do it one step better.
Nice.
I don't want to just copy what they've done. I want to one-up them.
Of course.
And I make that a point to do that simply because I'm a avid user of the platform as well. I think I'm number 3 in the leaderboards for the point system. So
watch out.
I mean, I test my product religiously, right? So like I know what doesn't like, we focused probably a month and a half on just getting feedback from the best traders that I know. We got all of the biggest guys that are actively trading like the very volatile, very fast-paced stuff. Because if you get it working for that, then it'll work, absolutely flawless for the normal guys that are coming in and buying like medium or higher caps, the normal type trading.
Sure.
You don't have to be buying the 5K market cap, complete gambles, right?
Right.
But if it works for that, it'll work for everybody. So that's kind of my mentality, is make it work for the fastest and craziest traders, and then it'll work for everybody. So that's been our focus ever since we released.
Well, and you're making it work. What I'm seeing consistently with all the projects that you've kind of had a hand in over the last couple of years, both in privately that you've worked with me on a couple of things, and then also in the public eye, you set goals, you achieve goals, and you put out a superior product. I mean, I've known that to be your history from the beginning of time. That's why I have no problem getting behind whatever it is that you're doing to try to help you promote it, because I know it's going to be something fantastic once it finally hits the street. And what we do here, and what we've always kind of looked at, is our thing is we want to be involved in projects where we can invest in them, but then have a long-term passive residual income. And you'll see all my guys will laugh about that, because I always try to include that phrase at least once a week in every show for what we do. And I know for what you're doing, that's like you say, Telegram is a revenue source and your launch pad is going to be a revenue source. How does somebody, if they want to invest in your project, how do your revenue streams kind of pile up, and how do you create that reward for the people that want to buy into DSX?
Yeah, so it's very lucrative. It's very easy for us to be successful. So we are technically still in beta, but I mean, I could move us out of beta, but I want to get wallet tracker and all that working, and I want to get at least one EVM network before I move us technically out of beta and really start our full go-to-market, right? So by the end of the month is my goal, to really be able to, on the 1st of November, pay for all of the go-to-market strategies and influencers, and pay for the mega trader retainers, and our entire go-to-market. But our revenue sources come from fees, right? So the trading terminal, we take a 1% fee, where 20% of that immediately goes back by default as a rake back to the user. So you get it back in the form of the native currency that you're trading with. There's different bonuses where if you join from a referral program, for example, you get an extra 10% rake back. If you find Easter eggs on the website, or if you complete different like quests, you also can get additional rake back for temporary time.
That's really cool.
We have the most lucrative referral program out of any of our competitors. So our default, if you're just a regular, anybody who's joining, we give 30% of the direct referred people. So like,
wow,
if I invite you to come over, you get 30% or I get 30% of whatever fees that you generate for the platform.
Nice.
If you invite someone, since I referred you, it's a 3-level setup. So our competitors give 3% on level 2 and 2.5% on level 3. Whereas we're giving 10% for level 2 and 10% for level 3.
That's ridiculous. I mean, like, that's very lucrative.
So and we did it specifically like that on purpose because one, we're 4 or 5 times higher than all of our competitors at that. It makes it very sticky. People don't have to float around because our competitors, the only thing that they can do is they only modify the direct referrals, right? So if they're making a custom deal, they go, hey, I'll give you 50% of direct referrals or even 65% of direct referrals, but you make nothing from the people that they bring on, right? Whereas I'm not going to give you 65% direct. I'll give you maybe 50% if you're a top tier guy, but you will make a lot of money if you onboard quality people. You'll make a lot of money from them.
Sure.
Right? Way more.
But who do they know, and who do they know? That's exponential. Right. The potential there.
Right. So
that's very generous. I've been involved in compensation plans really most of my adult life. I think over 30 years of experience in direct sales and network marketing before I got involved in crypto, and even before that, being and still involved in medical services, EMS, ambulance services is my primary business. And I tell you, I've always loved stuff like this because when I find something, I love to tell people about it. And I think a lot of people have gotten a bad racket with, referring and doing direct sales and network marketing or relationship marketing because it feels like you have to, they called it the Amway ambush and stuff like that, where you'd like, hey, come over to my house. I'm having people over and I'm going to cook a brisket, and then you show up in the living room and boom, it's a sales presentation. So like so many people have dealt with that in their lives that they kind of have like this kind of a standoffish / bad taste in their mouth for networking and relationship stuff like that. But the truth is, the oldest way of doing something is to follow your dollar. And when you're in a group of people, and like our group has always looked for long-term passive residual income. So when you find something like this, it may not always be the people that that are really good at telling other people about something. It's just maybe they get into it, they start playing with it. I remember Quartermasters and buying the NFTs and like how much fun that was. I told everybody about that, and I don't even I think there might have been referrals attached to it, but I don't know. Look, I was just having so much damn fun doing it that I was telling other people about. I think I had one that had like the gold hat, which was like kind of rare or something like that, and one of them that had like a peg leg and a gun in his hand. It was just like I probably could still go and look at all those if they're all still out there somewhere, but it was just. It was fun, so I told people about it, The Quartermasters?
Well, and yeah, I still have like 100 Quartermasters.
It's crazy.
Everybody still does have them, and we are going to, there is they're worth keeping in your wallet.
Oh, I knew that there was, that's actually one of my later questions because I want to circle back to that as well. But just to kind of finish where I was leading you, obviously with referrals, I don't want everybody to think this is just a play to get a bunch of referrals. I do want to give people referrals to your business, but I also want to introduce people to the idea that they can do referrals as well if they're interested in doing that, because this, I believe, is going to be one of those projects that is going to kind of set the standard and could honestly be one of those chrysalis type events that takes us back to like that 2017, 2018, 2019, where we just had that crazy run. You know what I mean? I want to say that you're going to cause that, but what I would suggest is that putting everything into one platform and doing it right there's been a void of people that are doing it professionally and being responsible business owners in the space. It's a space that's rife with games and trickery and charlatans and thieves. You know this. You already know this. You've been associated with some of them in your lifetime. I know you know who I'm talking about. But when there's indictments and things like that, like I want to stay far away from that. What I'm thinking is though, we've always kind of hoped for, and what Tango Crypto was established to do was to try to weed out all of the terrible projects and only refer projects that would be decent in the end. And that means we talk to the owners, we vet the project, we check them out. Like we used to do this on a regular basis, we would go deep into we even had people that would look at the code and I'm not able to do that, but there were people that were, and they would say, oh, this looks good. It's not a honeypot, stuff like that. So I'm not saying that that's still what we're doing, because primarily we've become like an amateur investment group, so to speak. But I would love to see a return back to the way we were doing it several years ago. And I think that the project that you're putting together is going to pave that super highway for us to all drive on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the reason I brought up the referral program, yeah, great. If you guys want to set up referrals and stuff, go for it. But it's more so like, even though we are more lucrative on that, we have the rake backs, all of that. Our worst case, if you're fully maxed out in benefits and bonuses, and you got 3-tier level referrals going out, the worst margin that we have is 38% on a trade. Our average margin will be around 47% of fees per trade. And then if somebody is trading and they are not from a referral code and they are just an organic joined user, we're getting an 80% margin on those trading fees. So how we make money is the trading platform, the Telegram bot, and the trading platform function the same exact way. And whereas our competitors are separate, if you log in, if you create a account and a wallet and all of that through your Telegram, you can log into the website using your Telegram, and it's the exact same account. So I can set up a limit order on the website, go out to a movie or the club or whatever, and I can finish and play with my stuff. I can emergency sell without having to figure out how to load the website and do it all in there. I could just pull up Telegram and use the Telegram bot as well. They're both interlinked and interchangeable. Wow. And that's just the start for the accessibility point. We'll also be releasing a mobile app that will use the same exact accounts.
Oh, wow.
We'll also be releasing a browser extension that will be more like a MetaMask and Phantom view.
Right? I remember that. Yeah, I've used those.
Yeah, so what we can do, Telegram looks very different from the website, right? It doesn't have charts, but it's, fast, cheap, efficient, boom.
Sure.
The website, very different from the Telegram bot. But the browser extension will look more like a regular wallet. The mobile app will look more like a crypto.com, so that we hit every entrance of the market, but it's all the same core infrastructure. It's all the same trading mechanics, it's all the same features. It's just hitting a different viewpoint, right? If
Fantastic.
Whatever you prefer, we're going to give you an entrance for each of those. Other
That's awesome.
ways that we make money is obviously the DEX LPs on Solana. People take BIPs on LP trades. So the average is 0.25 or 25 BIPs per trade, which is 0.25%. Meteora and Radium are the two main, and PumpSwap are the three main DEXs on Solana, and each of them are netting over $250 million a year at a worst case scenario, right? There's really nobody else competing with them. So we're coming into entrance with market with the exact same feature sets. Our fees will be reduced. We're going to give more back to LPers, project owners, holders of projects. We've got a few different incentive programs. So we'll be competing against that market as well. When the time comes, our perpetuals, since the wallet is built right in, the trades are immediate. It's going to be the exact same feel as if you're doing them on Binance, Bybit, OKX, Kraken, Coinbase, whatever you're used to, but it's on chain, right? So you still own your money. You're not getting a paper IOU from these centralized exchanges, and you won't run into like an FTX type case,
right?
Because we're not taking your money.
Your keys, your crypto, which is kind of the way it's always meant to be, right? Like DeFi for real.
So what we're doing with those fees is 40% of the fees that come in. Well, I'll break it down even a little bit further. 20% of the fees that come into the platform for revenue after cost of goods sold, so like after rebates and referrals are paid out. 20% is going to go into buying back DSX tokens. That is purely just to, utilized for a marketing aspect.
Sure.
Token goes up, more investors buy,
Push MC.
they shield the platform, we make more money, right? So we're not going to be selling any team tokens. We don't have a team allocation. I have like it's either a 6-month cliff or 8-month cliff or something on team tokens. I don't remember exactly, but I'm not even minting team tokens to deal with it.
That's strong.
We want to use it as a marketing vertical, right? So buybacks are going to be important in doing so. We're doing another 20% of the fees for additional buybacks for the sole purpose of funding the airdrop allocations. So unlike other platforms where they do an airdrop a year or tease their airdrop and never actually do it, which all of our direct competitors have all done, none of them have ever followed through with their airdrop for any of the trading platforms. We're going to be doing airdrops every 2-3 months.
Wow.
So maybe once a quarter, maybe every other month. But it'll be based off of business metrics. It'll be tokens that we buy off the market and give right back to the community, right? So you get an incentive if you're using the platform.
Can't beat that.
Points, you get airdrops, and it's concurrent, right? 30% of the fees will go into our token staking mechanics. So we have a 30% rev share pool where you'll get straight up USDC on whatever network you decide to claim it on. But that is for anybody who's staking, and so that we're not a risk at being a security, you have to at least have done an activity that contributes toward revenue. So as long as you trade once a week, something like that, there might be like, as long as you trade at least $50 or something a week, you still earn the revenue share for that week.
In theory, could you set up the bot to do that for you so you don't forget?
If you're copy trading, yep.
Okay.
That would work.
That's not bad. So you can remain qualified without having to do the mental. Oh no, I got to set a reminder on my phone to once a week.
As long as you are within legal bounds of doing something that contributes toward revenue, I don't get in trouble.
Got it. You're executing a trade that you sent in yourself or set up as a repeating trade. That would work.
Yep. So
okay.
The rest of the revenue goes towards operations, marketing, etc. We have pretty good projections. I don't know if it'll let me do this, but
it's trying. Okay, yeah, let me. All right, I put that on the top where everybody can see it. You're going to make me put my glasses on, aren't you? I can't read that.
That better?
Yeah, I got it. I can see it.
I zoomed in.
So it's 30 days, and you have a 30-day breakdown and then a 1-year breakdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is our minimum expectations. So this is not a best case scenario fantasy. This is if we get 0.25% of the entire market share on only Solana. It does not count any other networks. That's what our minimum metrics, based on our go-to-market strategy for market, would allow for us to get in a bear market scenario. In the current market scenario, our real expectations is to get around 2% or 3% of the market share. That's what our real goal would be. But I want to show realistic numbers, in a our first milestone type setup. So once perps are live and the DEX is live, those would be the two first points. Obviously, those are not live yet. So the main aspects that to take into consideration right now is the trading bot revenue and the web trading platform. Both of those are live. They're in beta, so they're obviously not doing these numbers yet, but this is where we want to first get to. The cost of goods sold for user acquisition, that is the referral program. That's taking an average of around 40% going towards referrals. The development costs, $200,000. It's not even close to that per month right now. That would be fully stood up, and if we hired another double engineers that we have on the team, but I want to allocate for it just in case. Probably is more realistic once we have perps up and having like ops teams, like 24/7 coverage, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to account for that. Hardware and hosting, all the infrastructure being in-house and scaling up with data and hosting all of the different chains. That's, you know, a realistic 100K figure. Marketing, legal, accounting, etc. All that's pretty straightforward, but, you know, generally, even with the buybacks, the staking, everything else that we're doing, the net profit to the company after expenses and everything else is still going to be around 50%, because of our margins and our targets.
It's crazy.
And this is if we were to topple the worst bot on Solana right now. They have not done an update in 9 months, and the worst Telegram bot, and only Telegram bot, they don't have a website, is still making $18,000 a day in fees. It will not, once we start the marketing machine, I plan to topple everybody.
It's gonna go ham.
Settle with these numbers, but this is just to give you an idea. If we stayed steady with just this 30-day breakdown, we'd be netting almost $20 million a year.
That's fantastic.
I don't plan on ever staying steady, and this does not include any other chain, right? So this is super watered down numbers compared to what all of our competitors are doing, even the brand new ones. So, you know, it is very, very easy for us to really achieve these. And we already, even though it's just in beta and I've done no paid marketing, it's just organic of me getting traders to come test it. We just passed 1,500 users, and
Sweet.
we did $100,000 in volume yesterday. Our total revenue just from beta is, from this version of beta, over the last month, is around $17,000 in profit, and 32,000-ish in revenue.
That's not bad. It's better. That's better. That's over 50%. Jeez.
Yeah. So that's with no paid marketing. That's just me shilling in a few of my friend groups and on Twitter once a week.
Yeah, your tweets I see are mostly updates. They're not a lot of hype and promo. It's more like tech support updates and like, hey, I'm checking things off of the roadmap kind of tweets, where it's a little more technical than it is promo or hype-ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's really where I want to stay right now until it's like fully market ready.
I think that's smart.
Probably like next month, I'll get a little bit more D-Gen-y and be like, yo,
let's go, LFG. Yeah. Whoa, people memeing like crazy.
It'll be a good mix of both. But yeah, I mean, as we speak, I don't believe it's on the website right now, but it is probably as soon as I get back over. We are announcing the public round for the DSX token. This is our last raise. We did our seed round 2013, friends and family. That was at a $14 million FDV for the token. There was no equity. The launch is going to be 100% unlock for all rounds. We're not doing vesting or cliff. If anybody wants to sell, get out. I don't care. I'll buy up your tokens, because we'll be very revenue positive by the time the token's releasing.
Right.
Second round, we raised $1.5 million. Technically, I raised a lot more than that. I raised around 3.7, but I refunded a lot of those people because they were, you know, KOLs, other people that I was investing in angel rounds with, people whom I saw dump charts in very bad ways, people who requested it because it was, you know, a year and a half since they put money in, and I was glad to give it back. You know, if you don't want to be involved, you don't want to be part of it, okay, here's your money back, good luck.
Right.
You know, so we cut it off at 1.5. Everybody who's in is super excited. You know, they're happy to be here. They're going to, you know, contribute in some way or another. And then the public round, which is going to be at a 20 mil FDV for tokens. Starting today, it's $1 million in total. If we go a little bit over, I have some wiggle room on that, but we're going to try to cut it off at $1 million, so it's just not a lot of supply going out. And that is purely for go-to-market funds, right? So it's for paying trader retainers. And how that works is, if a trader is doing a minimum amount of monthly volume, right? So say they want 30% rake back and a 2K a month USDC stable deal, as long as they're doing, $5 million a month in volume, we still make double what their retainer costs us.
Yep.
It's just we have to pay that up front, right? So if we're paying 400 traders who all bring a few $1 million in volume each, we make double what we're paying out in retainers. It's just we need that capital up front to get them on and solidify and sign contracts.
It's almost like interest-free financing, if you ask me, for you to raise some capital to keep the thing going. It's like it's just putting cash on hand for you to operate the business, and then the profits from their trading volume is going to wash out the debt.
Yeah, exactly.
That's smart. That's smart, Hank. I like that. I like that play.
Well, and it lets, by the first month, if we put out, our budget is, we have a marketing company that we have onboarded called Pandora Marketing. They're one of the largest in the space. They have a full go-to-market suite strategy between, PR and influencers they're bringing on board and different partnerships and, listings and all that kind of good stuff. But around 500,000 of the $1 million is earmarked for just the retainers, right? Because we will not give a retainer to a trader if we're not making double what that retainer is going to cost us. So if I'm putting out $500,000 for retainers, I'm getting $1 million back in, probably like closer to 900,000, because some of them will probably not hit the KPIs and stuff like that. But generally, we'll find who's good, who's not. We'll double our revenue, and then I can put that 900,000 into additional retainers for the next month.
Are you having trouble finding traders now, or do you have people in line, like on a waiting list, to get involved and try it?
I have 150 people waiting for retainers.
Okay, yeah. So you're not in a shortage. It's kind of like
I need the money.
You've got a bouncer at the door, and they're in line to get in the club right now.
Yeah, and some of these people are like, I have massive traders who do, $50 million kind of thing in volume, but they want a 25K retainer per month. But they come with, they have their own trading group, and stuff like that they would be onboarding as well through their referral program and stuff like that. It's definitely worth it. But the big guys are, 25K, 50K tickets.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to get, for the first month, I want to get all medium and small guys to kind of get the branding out there, get a lot more feedback.
Organic too. Really organic momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
makes sense.
Probably closer to the TGE, we get the huge guys, get them on, 2 weeks before the token launch.
Pop.
And it just explodes.
Yeah, it's gonna take off. Well, it's obvious that you've done your homework. maybe it's a good thing that we went through all of these failed launches in our history, right? Like, we've learned so many things along the way.
Yeah. I think I have taken more L's than any other founder in the space, but it is a good thing because I have learned more than any. Like, I'm glad I failed at the projects that were worse than what I have built now, right? Like, you're
failing forward, and that's
ones that were
failing forward is the right philosophy. Most people are taught to fail is a bad thing, and so when they have failure or encounter failure or witness other people go through a failure, even especially if they invested in that project with faith that it was going to work and then it didn't, there's a huge disconnect there, because the 80-20 rule, right? Like, the 80% of the population that's basically educated to just go out and work and create wealth for the people who hold leverage, like the business owners and the factory owners and the, you know, the billionaires that own the place. Like, you either have a job or you own the jobs that the people work at. Those people don't like failure because they're taught, no, you need to score 70 on a test to pass, or you've got to score 90 on a test to get a certification, you know, and it's like failure's bad. And then that's the majority of the population. So they don't, when they come in touch with that entrepreneurial way of thinking, which is, shit, I failed. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that again. What am I doing next? Like, how do I take this? And we call them iterations, right? It's not a failure. It's just a cycle. It's an iteration. We shot here, we missed the target. We're going to adjust the sights and we're going to shoot again, right? And you just keep doing it. Like, the only way to get better is to continue to miss the target until you get over the target, and then you become an expert. So I think you've learned that, and it's obvious in the way, you know, look at what you put together here. I mean, you've got a lot in this package that is really, really attractive facets that would be great. You know, one little part of this would be great in terms of a value proposition, but all of it together, it's insane to me. Like, I give you props. Like, seriously, I think you're onto something here. And it's, again, after we talked about it and I've kind of done my homework and read up on where you've come through all this, I really like where you're headed with this, and I'm really excited that you didn't give up. Like, you had a chance to, like, just hang up your skates and never come back onto the ice, but you didn't do it. You kept on skating, you kept on banging the puck into the net, and I appreciate you for that. So thanks for not quitting, Hank, because I'm excited to see where this is going to go. Seriously.
We with the funds we raised, you know, obviously we have like liquidity covered and everything else, but you know, I didn't want to dip into any of that, and I didn't want to do the public sale before the product was ready,
Sure.
or until we were at least like pretty close to TG. So I've actually even paid payroll out of pocket for the last 2 months.
Been there, dude. I've done that. I've done that so many times.
Yeah.
I know what that feels like.
I wake up, I think about DSX, I code DSX, I take meetings for DSX.
All day long.
I eat dinner with my wife for an hour and a half.
Go back to work
for DSX until 10 a.m. and then I sleep for 3 hours. That's it.
You fall asleep at the keyboard? Like, is there anybody that will have a screenshot at the top of your head while you're coding and sleeping right there?
My seat leans back.
Yeah. Just a little nap, set a timer, wake up in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I love it.
We've thought through everything. The launch FTV is going to be at 40 mil FTV.
Okay.
So you're automatically going to be up 2x for this round. And something that we are doing so that there is, you know, a greater incentive. There's a greater purpose than just having tokens. You know, having tokens is great. You know, the token should do great. The way that we have it set up and the way that we're projecting revenue, and as long as we hit all these targets, then the token really can't not do well after a few months of buybacks.
Yeah,
right?
volume creates volume.
All the sell pressure possible anyways.
Momentum
Right,
creates
so
value.
It should do well. I can't say for a 100% because I'll get sued, but
Right.
you know, it should do very well. But I don't want to rely on shoulds anymore, and I don't want to fall into the same, like, you know, as you said, we've been able to learn how things work.
Right.
So if people do put more than $10,000 into the round, they also get equity in the company so that they get a pro rata distribution of that net profit.
Beautiful.
You know, it's both, right? So if you do less than 10,000, I don't want 10,000 shareholders. That would make me
Sure.
lose my mind. But, you know, at that 10,000 or more, you also get equity at the same valuation of 20 million.
Oh, wow. If somebody wants to jump into that round and they're willing to invest more than $10,000, they're going to get equity in the company, but it's going to be at the raise value now of 20 million, not the launch value of 40 million. So again, a 2x just just by investing and holding until launch.
Yeah, and this is the only
Wow.
round that we sold equity in.
Okay.
We plan on doing series down the line at a much higher valuation.
Sure.
Once we have users and revenue.
When you need a big dollar to inject a big push to go up to another level.
Right. Yeah. That'll be when we bring VCs and all that kind of stuff on. But
Private equity guys, yeah, for sure.
I understand people want security, and Web 2, you get that from having equity. Whereas most token projects, all of the ones that I bought into the pre-sales for in 21, I didn't get any equity and I got screwed. But, we built a real product. This is a real company.
Yep.
My uncle left his Fortune 500 company that he helped create, and he is now my COO. So
nice.
It's not just some kid doing this. I've got guys with decades of experience helping me. I learned from everything that I was doing. John hopped on at the very tail end of Nobility onto my team, but we've perfected our cycle. We just brought on another project manager. He's my friend Landon, but he was in the military for 25 years as an officer, and he handled operations and large teams, where he is also
clearly
helping with project management and everything. We already stood up. We've already built the product. You're not paying and waiting for the product. It's already there. It's already starting to get market share. I just need this boost. That's the only reason we're doing the public sale. I didn't want to do the public sale. I am just not rich enough to pay payroll out of pocket and all of the retainers.
Say less. I know. We as you may know, a lot of the folks that are part of the Tango crypto universe have chipped in, and we raised some money to start this most recent ambulance business, and we did an equity value proposition, and we raised money to get the business up and running, and it still runs today. I was driving an ambulance in Polk County, Florida today, so we're out there making money and generating revenue. Maybe not on the same scale that you are, Hank, but I understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. I think it's great that you kind of have you have this history of knowing what happens when you put certain when you flip certain switches and pull certain levers in the crypto space, and to be able to get a 2x, which most people like 4x, 10x. I used to do the 1x, 4x, 1x, right? You put your money in, when it hits 4x, you take your initial investment out and then ride the wave the rest of the way. That was kind of how we always played, but that just means we expected a 4x. That's how blessed we were in 18 and 19 and 20 when things were going absolute gangbusters, that we actually expected to get 4x out of everything we put money into. But I see what you're doing here.
It's like that right now. I made 19 grand in an hour earlier trading on BNB meme coins.
Just on meme coins.
The CZ is criming it now that he's not allowed to touch real Binance. He's playing on his chain. So.
Oh, okay, I see. So he'll pump stuff up, and you just got to kind of know what to watch.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I need to be putting my Telegram bot to copy your trades.
I was doing well earlier. Yeah.
Nice. That's good stuff. So let me shift gears. I know we're talking about this landscape and stuff. I don't want to divert from, and you may be covering this later, but I know in our community and a lot of people that'll be watching this through the YouTube channel, they invested in Nobility. They may have invested in CroSwap or Diamond Swap along the way. I know I was involved in all those projects as an investor. So this is a personal question, but I know a lot of people will have this question. Along the way, I know there were conversations where I know there was a snapshot taken when Nobility kind of came off the market. There was a snapshot taken when CroSwap was taken off the market. So I know you've said it before, but I just want to, if you could share briefly, how's that going to work in terms of like what's happening right now with DSX and it coming out?
Yeah, so we actually have 24% of the supply in airdrop buckets.
Okay.
It'll come out of a mixture of both of the. Probably the launch campaign is most of. It'll probably come out of the success-based airdrop bucket, actually.
Okay.
The launch campaign being from points. It depends on how many points are earned in this airdrop. Probably a mixture of both, but it will be active snapshot value for CroSwap, Chronos Node, Nodies, Quartermasters, all of that kind of stuff. You'll be getting DSX token equivalents of the mint prices for NFTs, so that they're breaking. The marketplaces went up and down for NFTs, so there was no really good way for me to average that out or whatever, but it's at least getting everybody their money back for what they put into the NFTs part.
Nice.
For the CROS and CRON tokens, obviously it'll be at the snapshot value that we took. For Nobility...
Cron was the one that was behind the perpetual, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the one that I had a chunk of that.
Yeah, Cron or Cargo is also
okay.
called.
Yeah.
So that will have full compensation in the airdrop.
Sweet.
I don't know if I said it earlier, but the token's launching in December.
Okay.
So it will be this year. And all of those will kind of come together at that point.
Merry Christmas.
Nobility. I took a snapshot. I had a wallet value that we post, or the price point of the snapshot. It's a little less relevant of the snapshot value that we took. It was more about the token amount in the wallet for Nobility, because the liquidity that was in the LP when we took those tokens out was not a lot of liquidity, right? It was around like 250,000 ish US dollars. Obviously, that did not cover most of anybody's value.
No,
but
I doubt it.
We wanted to we wanted to actually give people for the airdrop what their wallet value was, not what it was minus price impact, right? Because if it was just based on liquidity value, everyone would get 90% less than what they were seeing in their wallets.
Yeah.
Now, the V1 liquidity for the BNB did unlock. BNB is going up substantially since then.
Yeah, it has.
There is about $1.7 million worth of Nobility tokens to get everybody to the face value of what they had in their wallets, right?
Okay.
So for every wallet, based on the shutdown price for that snapshot, which is why that price was relevant, for what you were seeing in your wallet, that's what you're going to get on the airdrop, unless BNB goes over what is need to cover that 1.7. Right now, between the BNB from the initial liquidity unlock and the V1 liquidity unlock, it's around 1.25 million. So I'm actually covering out of pocket an extra 400,000 to get everybody to break even, right? That'll come out of like revenue. We'll set that aside from profit or part of the raise buckets, however we get there. But that is coming out of my pocket to make sure that everybody is copacetic and
Gotcha.
and getting what they have.
And that's
right?
that's going to be an airdrop of DSX tokens to the same wallet that it came from.
So we're going to have a page on DSX, where as long as you have your wallet from Nobility, all you'll do is go to the page on DSX, you log into your DSX account. There'll be a page that says, hey, send a TX from your wallet. It'll just be like a button you click. You send a signature saying, hey, this is my wallet. This is how I can verify who you are and that you actually own the wallet. Once you sign the signature, I pull that data from the database and I tell you how many tokens you're going to get. And that would work the same way of like you could do multiple wallets on that same page.
Yeah,
right? So
I had multiple wallets, so I'd have to do it.
Wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you could do it for an unlimited number of wallets, really, as long as you are signing the signature. I can verify that it's actually you, and then you can see all of your different airdrops that you're going to get throughout every different claimable event, right?
Very
So
cool.
Whether it's Nobility, whether it's Gross, whatever, it'll all be on the website, and then it'll airdrop you on your DSX wallet, right? So those old wallets
I see.
are irrelevant after you sign the signature.
Okay. That's good though, because then everybody's not going to have to go out. You will have to go find and log back into all those old wallets that you were using back then. For me, I say it like that because a lot of them I don't use anymore, but there may be people that are still trading on them every day. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you had bought Nobility from X or Y or Z, you would need to get back into that wallet at least long enough after you've already created a DSX account. You would need to log in and go make that one claim while you're connected to that wallet, and then the airdrop is going to come into your DSX wallet.
Yep.
Okay, got it. Now that makes it easier
So
for me to explain it.
You log in, you click a button, you never need your old wallet ever again.
Got it. That's hallelujah. Again, you're doing it the way.
Just don't forget what email you sign in with, or don't lose that wallet, because then I really can't help you. But you know,
Right, but I mean, let's be fair. If they use like it's a Google sign in, right? Like you can sign into DSX with your Google account. So I mean, how many other things in the world do you just say sign in with Google and you click the little button and it signs you in? You can use your fingerprint on your laptop or whatever on your phone and or your face recognition, and boom, you're in there. So, just don't forget which email you use when you create your DSX account. Simple. Like it.
Yep. So it'll be very easy, very streamlined. Least amount of buttons as possible.
Nice. So I know a lot of, and this is kind of why I wanted to have you on tonight, was to share this with everybody, kind of get that. Here's where we are with the project. We haven't forgotten about all of the people that were in the previous projects. And then also, I think we talked about creating like a Google form that I can send out to everybody on Tango Crypto if they would like to be involved in the public sale. Excuse me. Below or above the $10,000 rate. I know there's some guys in the group that may want to put in more than 10, and there's some people in the group that may want to just hop in for 100 or 500 or whatever. So how are you going to? I know you sent me a message earlier. Do I just need to share that Google form with them, and then they would fill it out and be able to take action?
Yep, all the deposit information is right on the form. So you
Perfect.
Just post the form link. They can deposit either Sol or USDC from the Solana network, or they can deposit ETH, BNB, USDC from EVM chains as well. It's either one. It really doesn't matter.
Well, I'll put that up. What I'll do is I'll put that up in the chat here on Tango Crypto, and then I'll also include that link in the description of this YouTube video. So if you lose your place and can't figure out where it was, just come back to this recording, and you can watch it on YouTube again, or pull up the description on YouTube, and it'll be right below the video in the comments.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, everything's moving in the right direction. We've got real partners. We've got a partnership with, I don't know if you know any of the meme coins on Solana, but Punky, which is one of the bigger ones. That's going to be announcing tomorrow. They're going to be putting out their referral program to their entire network. And doing like a whole thing. We have a partnership with Avalanche, the chain. So they're going to be directly supporting us once we add support for their network.
Sweet.
Talk to the BNB. BNB chain's going to be supporting us once the trading terminal is on their network. They don't really give a shit about the Telegram bot, but they don't have a website version like that. Okay. They don't have many. So they'll get us on AMAs. They'll put us on listings. We'll be able to pull from the API to get like alerts for some of the cool data, like Binance Alpha listings, and I can do cool stuff with that. Stuff like that.
Sweet.
We have a partnership with Houdini Swap, London Real Ventures, Next Gen. Got some of the biggest KOLs like OD and Spider Brian, and like Coach K. All those kind of guys are all in and excited. And
Good.
yeah, I mean, it's all ready to go, and we're just full steam ahead. I mean,
I'm excited.
every
Are
day,
you excited,
20
Hank? I
hours a
mean,
day.
are you getting any sleep? When are you sleeping?
I went to bed at 3:30 last night, and I woke up at 6:50,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's my
tough.
schedule every day,
That's tough. Really. Wow.
7 days a week.
Well, don't forget to take care of yourself and take a break from now and then. Just like I texted you the other day, you make sure that you get like once you get to a point where you've kind of like done what you've expected. And I know that's a moving target with a guy like you. You're always going to just hit it and go right to the next. But it's very important as a leader of a project of this size and scope that you remember to treat yourself and to take a victory lap, go on a cruise or whatever you want to do. Just take some time every once in a while to celebrate. Pop open a bottle of that champagne when you hit that mark and give yourself that pat on the back, man, because you work really hard and you're very goal oriented, and then you hit your goals. You can burn out real easy. So just be careful not to do that. Protect yourself mentally so that you can remain the good steward of this project, because there's a lot of us who have.
I'll never burn out.
Don't say that. Don't say that on my show. Don't say that on my show.
That's not a thing for me. I don't know. I've been doing this since I was 10 years old. This is the only thing I know, right? Like,
I got you.
I started my first video game company when I was 10. This is the only thing I know how to do.
Well, keep doing
I
it.
do love traveling.
Yeah.
So whenever we go to like conferences and stuff, like the me time that we take is like, we didn't go this year because we've been just fully head down focused on product rollout and everything else. But once we're live next year and we have to go do like Token 2049 and like the big conferences and set up booths, and we plan on doing all of that. Like IRL networking is some of the best ways to make partnerships and everything else. It's worth it.
Absolutely.
But whenever I go to stuff like that, I usually book like a day or two extra, and we'll go like
as you should.
Check out.
Do something different. Even if you just ask Gemini, like, what are the top 5 attractions that I should do if I'm visiting this area, and pick one randomly and just go do it. Just to have that story to tell. And treat your team too. It's very important that you treat your team. I know you know this, but compensation comes in many ways, and money is just one of them.
They're on payroll.
Yeah. Well, money's only one form of compensation. When you're a good leader and you hand out praise
We're selling equity, but I gave the devs equity as well.
There you go.
They helped me build this.
There you go.
It's not just my company, right? Like,
attaboy. There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, that's
not a lot.
That takes courage. That takes courage. I know, as somebody who holds equity in something that I'm very proud of, I'm very hesitant to let my hands off any of it. But when you have the right people and you've got a good core team, you should always keep that group close and take good care of them. Treat them with kindness and respect. I know you know all this stuff. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but. It's important to take that victory lap with your team.
Yeah, I'd rather own 51% of something amazing than 100% of something that everyone hates me.
All day long. All day long, brother. All day long. Amen to that. Listen, I appreciate you being here. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want to share with everybody? I know we kind of bounced around and you had some slides and stuff, and I may have interrupted you, as I'm known to do. Anything you want to share with the crew?
No, I'm an open book. Anybody can DM me if you have any questions. Let me know. This wasn't really just to only pitch the involvement. Like if you're a trader, feel free to come in, give us feedback. That's what I care about the most. I mean, money, I need it, but it's not really what I give a shit about.
Right.
I mean, once we're revenue positive, money doesn't really change that many things for me, other than being able to market more. Right. I want to build the best thing.
It's just gas in the rocket, fuel in the rocket. That's all it is. Just keeps the rocket firing.
So, if you have any suggestions, if you use the platform, if you need any help, whatever, just hit me up. That's my main focus, is just making this amazing thing that changes the space, right? Plus, I want to get started on my. I want to do like a learning channel, like a teaching channel kind of thing.
Yeah, we always talked about that.
Yet, but I'm trying to like make a list of things right out the gate of what I know I need to make videos on.
Yeah.
I got a really cool friend who does his own he's got like a really cool TikTok channel. I don't think he has like a lot of followers or whatever, but he's like super good with like the editing and like stuff like that. So
Snatch him
like
up.
a whole like DSX like university type thing as well.
Yeah.
So if you have like general questions and stuff, feel free to hit me up with hey, my friend always asks me this or whatever. Send me know those too, because I'm trying to get some video ideas. And plus, I think that helps DSX marketing.
It will, because it adds that, it'll add a degree of comfort, especially as you onboard a lot of novice users. As you build up, you're going to catch all the people that are in the space with binoculars, studying what's happening in crypto. But you have that university there, and it'll prepare you to kind of onboard that second and third wave that kind of comes in behind them in the wake of the big whoosh, as all the momentum flows into the project from the everyday crypto users. You're going to have all the secondary and tertiary, wave riders that are going to come in, and they're going to have questions. So that university is a great idea. I like that. We tried to do that here as well. Was kind of the model was, spotting projects and also teaching people, because I think the majority of the time that I spent when I was telling people about the different projects that I liked, I ended up spending most of the time on the phone teaching them how to connect to Trust Wallet and write down their passphrases and set the gas fees and learn slippage. And I spent hours and hours and hours of time that, had that been a video, or you know what I'm saying, like it would have been a nice thing that you could just point to this, like, hold on, let me text you this link, and it just be the video that explains how to do it. And then you record it once, but it can echo, over and over again. I really wish we had put more meat on those bones, when we first built out Tango Crypto, because that was a big part of what we wanted to try to do here, and it just never, it happened, but it never fleshed out like it didn't scale. So maybe the next run, the next iteration, we'll put some meat on those bones and kind of get that where it needs to be. And maybe we can collaborate on that. That's how I can help contribute, to the project in some way if I can. So I'd love to.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Cool. Well, man, Hank, I know it's late and you probably got a million red lights popping up on your screen, like to come back to work and focus on whatever's going on. But I appreciate you taking an hour and a half or hour and 15 minutes to come chat with us here tonight. Thank you for being a part of Tango Crypto and Tango Tuesday. We've always been big fans of yours, and I know you love what we're doing around here, or what we tried to do around here back from the beginning. So thanks for being a friend, and thanks for coming on tonight. I'll share the links and everything so everybody can try to take a bite of the apple if they're interested in doing that. And obviously, if anybody DMs me any questions or anything like that I can't figure out, I'll be happy to keep them in communication with you as well. But thank you, brother, for your time tonight. And congratulations on all of your success now and in the future. I'm looking forward to watching the Hank show. It's going to be fun.
Thanks, man. I appreciate having me on. And yeah, I've got 76 unread messages at the moment. So.
And all of them are important, I'm sure.
It's no different.
Yeah.
That's no different than every other hour of the day, so it really doesn't.
I can't figure out poo coin. What am I supposed to do with this coin made of poo? I don't know what to do with it.
It's more we have like a big sprint to finish for EVM, and I gave everybody a lot of tasks today, and they're all like, well, what do you want me to do for this, and how should I do this, and is this a Solana only feature because I can't figure out how to do this? I'm just like, guys, One, how do you not know these questions?
Grab a Celsius, tie your shoes. Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
But awesome. Thanks for having me. Look forward to doing it again. And yeah. Hope you guys have a great night.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Hank. Thank you so much. And thanks for everybody that joined the show live tonight. I appreciate y'all staying for the entirety of the show. The show is recorded and will go out on YouTube. I'll share the link shortly. And just thank you so much for being here. We do this show here on Tango Crypto. If you're watching this from outside of our community, Tango Crypto has been around for several years. We kind of look at different projects and we find the ones that we like, and we hope to find ones that if we can invest in them, it'll give us a passive residual income stream. So not so much day trading, more of like a long-term approach. And we've always looked for packages and programs that have really good leadership and a great business model. So it's more like a real world solution to try to help you find that long-term passive residual income that you're looking for when you want to just put something in and maybe set it and forget it. So we'll continue to look for projects like that. That's how we found Hank, and obviously Hank is a perfect example of that mentality. So if you want to join Tango Crypto, you can do so. I'll put a link in the description of this YouTube video, and we also meet here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for me. Tango Delta 6 is my nickname on X and on a lot of different social platforms. My name is Dave. I'm in Tampa. By the way, Hank, next time you're in Tampa, I'll buy you a beer. So let me know when you're coming down. But definitely, join our group and come around and hear what we have to say, and maybe pop in and share with us on Tango Tuesday at 8 o'clock every night, every Tuesday night from down here in Tampa. So thanks to Hank, thanks to everybody that was here tonight, and we'll see you guys next week, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time right here on Tango Crypto. So thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And y'all have a great week. We'll see you next Tuesday.